The first footage from Zack Snyder's Justice League has been released. Chris Evans wanted to be Spider-Man, and Jeff Hardy just pissed all over Fox's standards for WWE on TV. What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here with your second printing of the week's biggest issues at Comicbook.com. And this week, the DC fans are still being fed while the Marvel fans haven't heard a word about the MCU in months. So they're out here like,
"Please, sir, I want some more."
On Thursday, Zack Snyder dropped the first new footage from his version of Justice League, and it sees Diana Prince discovering a tease of DARKSEID while Lex Luthor narrates over it with the lines from the end of Batman vs. Superman. Cut to a clip of DARKSEID ready for battle with his army behind him, and we're back to the dark DCEU that we've been waiting for, right?
Damn right.
This DC fandom thing is going to be epic. Not only is the Snyder Cut going, bringing the first new looks at Zack Snyder's Justice League, but we're also getting stuff from the Batman and the Suicide Squad and all sorts of announcements for movies like The Flash, Black Adam, Shazam 2, plus all the DC TV shows like Stargirl. We don't have a real San Diego Comic-Con this year, which sucks, but on August 22nd, we are all going to be fired up over DC fandom. Don't lie. Don't start a fanboy war in the comments.
A fanboy knows a hater.
Speaking of the Batman, a couple of good new bits dropped for us, like Robert Pattinson revealing he does have a workout plan because it turns out he is working out for the part, and all the crying a few weeks ago was for nothing. Let the man live. Zoe Kravitz also weighed in on the costumes, and she's giving both the Batsuit and her Catwoman getup a firm seal of approval. The movie might jump back into production soon in London, so Matt Reeves, look at me. You looking? Show us all the costumes. Meanwhile, the biggest news on the Marvel front is Chris Evans saying in an interview that he would have wanted to play Spider-Man if it didn't call for wearing a mask all the time. This is literally the biggest headline from Marvel movies and TV right now. I wouldn't be really shocked if they did a virtual event like DC's Fandom, but the problem is Disney laid off like almost all of its publicity staff, so there really isn't anybody left over there to organize such an event. One other exciting bit was a makeup artist who is almost certainly getting a strongly worded email for saying literally anything about her work on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, claiming we are getting Black Captain America this year after she worked on the Disney Plus series, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I, for one, am more than ready to see Sam Wilson take on the Shield, and I really hope he looks like the Star-Spangled Falcon we saw in comics. If you don't want to see that, you're wrong, okay? I hope the makeup artist doesn't get in too much trouble for going all Mark Ruffalo on it. After all, Marvel fans are sitting here like,
"Please, sir, I want some more."
Meanwhile, the WWE is going all in on not giving an F. Get it? Because they used to be WWF. Maybe I'm too old for you. Anyway, Jeff Hardy threw a swanton bomb of urine in Sheamus' face during a segment of SmackDown, and Fox said it was against their standard for television, so they cut it from the West Coast airing, and then the WWE was like, get over it, we're putting it online, and I'm not exactly sure where their sort of thing falls on the offensive chart, so we're not going to show it on the second printing, but you can find it online. Wait till Fox finds out about all the other things WWE used to get away with.
Thunderlips is here. In the flesh, baby.
The PS5 continues to be the most exciting thing at the site, revealing new details like the Miles Morales announcement is a totally standalone game that will also expand on Peter Parker's story in that world, and that console itself is actually the size of Dwayne Johnson. Huh? For those of us who can't teleport to holiday season 2020, we're stuck on PS4, but The Last of Us 2 dropped this week, and it hit the streamer channels a day early, so you're gonna have to be sure to steer clear of spoilers, because Ellie and Joel are going through it this time around, and that's probably how the most of us are spending our weekends.
I loved it.
I talked to Kevin Bacon this week because he has a new horror movie out on demand called You Should Have Left, and so I asked him if he knew that he was Star-Lord's favorite actor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he had a pretty great story about how he found that out. You're famous in the Marvel Universe. Are you aware of that?
Well, I mean, I was, I mean, there was the mention in Guardians, which I thought was pretty amazing. I didn't really know anything about it, and then I went and sat in the movie theater, and somebody just said to me, "Have you seen that movie yet?" And I said, "No, I'm going, but I haven't seen it yet." And I was sitting in the movie theater, and I went, "Wow, that's some shout out."
And then you get the "Is Footloose still the greatest movie in history?" I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. It was cool.
On the comics front, Skybound announced a new issue of the Walking Dead comics after Robert Kirkman killed Rick Grimes and the whole series abruptly last year. It's going to tell the story of what happened to Negan after he ventured off into no man's land, essentially, earlier in those books. The book will be available in comic shops exclusively on July 1st, be shipped with no shipping costs, and 100% of the profits will go to comic shops. Kirkman, a man of the comics, you love to see it. Have you all been venturing back out into comic shops yet? I won't lie, it felt pretty good to get back out in the stores last weekend. picked up some new books. I wore a mask. I encourage you to do so. Be careful, be considerate. Movie theater chains are looking to open up in July, and I would love for people to be healthy and happy. Regal will require you to wear a mask. AMC won't. Which one are you going to go to?
This is a tough decision.
That's your second printing of the week's biggest issues at Comicbook.com. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Brandon Davis PD, because between The Last of Us Part 2 and the Iron Man VR, I'm going to have some fun stuff on my stories. For more, head over to Comicbook.com. I'm BD. I'll see you there.